everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Rose. Boy, do I have a jam-packed video for you all today. For any of you that are new, hi, welcome. We are currently doing a Crescent City Book 1 book review. I am reading chapters and then taking a break and reviewing them, going over what occurred during those chapters, my theories, that sort of thing. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please stay tuned, stick by, like the video, subscribe so that you can be notified of all my future uploads. We are going to be working our way through the Crescent City series. So book 1 is where we started. This is the first time that I've read the book, and so this is, all fresh and for you guys right here. So again, if it's something that you're interested in, then, welcome. Hi. And let's get into this video because I am super stoked to finally be sharing this with you guys. I did my best taking notes, and let me tell you, this book, I don't know if you guys can see all of the tabs and everything I've got going on, but man, a lot of shit happened. I thought I was gonna be getting, if you guys have watched the other videos, it seems like every couple of chapters and then it's like bam in your face, something huge happens, right? So I was kind of having a feeling that that's how this was going to go, but let me tell you, it did not go by that. So, starting off, we're going to go over characters that we've met in these chapters. So, the chapter reviews that we're doing are chapters 50 through 68, and yes. So, we finally got to meet Adidas. So Adidas is the Prince of the Chasm. He's one of the princes of hell or the underworld, whatever you guys want to call it. So we did go ahead and get to meet him. We did get some backstory on him, which was kind of cool. And yeah, I'm thinking he's definitely going to be playing a major part, whether it's in the chapters to come, which will be 68 through 97. So the next review will be from 68 through the end of the book at chapter 97. But I'm having a feeling, I have a feeling that he's going to be a big part in our book. Whether it's towards the end of this one or going in through the next ones, but we'll see. That's just kind of like a hunch feeling that I have. There's more to his story or more to be told, and we're getting just a glimpse. And, he's kind of cool. So besides for that, he is one of the princes. He can also turn into this white cat that he's holding, and he can talk. So as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, like Hocus Pocus and Binks. Of course, I automatically love Adidas. I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go get a cup of tea. I would totally be friends with this guy. No problem, hands down. He's kind of like a bad boy, and, we all kind of shy towards those, right? I mean, anybody that reads these, we always shy towards some kind of a bad boy or shadow daddy, as we like to call them. Anyway, so first thing is, I have a couple of theories. My first theory was that Jessica, oh my goodness, somebody slap me. Jessica, could be the one summoning the demon, so that she can, go back to her true form and return home. That was one theory. The other thing that we read is that the Star Sword, which is the sword that Rune had pulled from the Starborn, it has a twin. Now, I did see some fan theory about this, so, we'll have to see if it's true or whatnot. But saying that it has a twin to the sword, and that the current sword that Rune has is basically useless until the twin is reunited with the sword. So I thought that was pretty cool. But the fan theory that I read and saw was that Asriel's sword from Akatar, Truth Teller, is the Star Sword's twin. That would be really fucking cool. Now, we do know that SJM loves to interweave characters and other books. So, I mean, we had Throne of Glass getting shoved into the Akatar for a brief moment. So, why couldn't Asriel be part of Crescent City's story? Like, that's pretty cool. Okay, so Adidas visits B one evening in his cat form, so he's not being summoned or anything like that. He visits B and tells her to make the drop, asking her what blinds an oracle. Which, speaking of oracle, I did find a fucking picture finally, because back when we first originally met her, I couldn't find one. So we did get a picture of the oracle, and I'm like, what could blind an oracle? Starlight. That's what blinds an oracle. Okay, that's one of my theories. Starlight. Not sure what else it could be, but I mean, you've got Rune Danon, who's her brother. He's got a little inkling of Starborn ability, and who's to say that the bastard child of the Fae isn't the one that's blessed, because that would be awesome. So I said Starlight, and I underlined that thing like 40 times. So the next thing that we have that happens is I have grown to hate Micah, the archangel or the governor of Crescent City. He's a real fucking dick, like an egotistical, narcissistic prick, and I hate him. He's using Hunt to do all of his dirty work. Like, anytime that something happens that Micah doesn't like and wants someone dead, he go kill him. And Hunt, since he's a slave and sworn to him and is owned by Micah, has to do what he's told. Ugh, it's terrible. Fucking feel so bad. So Hunt came home after doing Micah's dirty work, and Micah told him that he couldn't use lightning. So brute force, and make it linger. Who knows what these people did. But instead of going back to the barracks where he normally goes to decompress, and his decompression is basically it's like soul shattering. It's really sad. But he goes into the showers, puts it on the hottest of hot, and just blasts it on his skin, like boiling his skin, burning himself. But because he's made the drop and immortal, his skin just keeps replenishing. I feel that he goes into the showers to feel more, not human, but more normal and not a monster, if that makes any sense. But instead of going to the barracks after this incident, he went to B's house, their home. And he walked in, and with her face senses, she could smell that the blood on him was not his. And it wasn't just one type of blood, it was a couple of different types of blood. And he was just completely, out of it. So she heard him in the shower, and the shower was just running and running and running, and she got very nervous after, several minutes, past 30 minutes, and the water's still going. And there's now, steam coming out from underneath of the door to his bedroom. So she goes in there, and she opens up the bathroom door, and she gets wafted by all of this hot steam, and is like, what is going on? To find Hunt sitting in the bottom of the bathtub with his wings just kind of draped everywhere, and he's mentally checked out, and the water's just scalding on him. So she gently tells him, I'm going to wash you off. and I'm going to make sure that all the blood gets off of you. So she's washing him off, and she washes his wings, and then she's like, oh yeah, this gorgeous man that I'm attracted to is fucking naked in the shower. So she's like, okay, I've washed all the areas that I can. I think you can handle, this middle section. And basically lets him wash himself off. And she then rinses him all off, makes sure everything comes out of his feathers, dries him off, and tucks him into bed. And when she goes to leave, he stops her, and he wants her to stay in the room with him, sleep in the bed with him. She doesn't need, there's no any kind of sexual context, but it's just an understanding of he doesn't want to be alone. And right now she's the only one there to comfort him. And I was just like, oh, heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. So in the midst of all this, they find out that there is a new drug that is being sold on the black market. And it's a combination of tech, organic, and magic. And the name of the drug is called Sith, like synthetic magic, or Sith. And in it, one of the main objects in it, ingredients, I guess we could say, is the obsidian salt, which the obsidian salt is to summon demons. So I was like, huh, well, okay. So what does this Sith do? So it can help someone summon demons, and it can make your ability stronger. It can make a regular human, stronger to the point where they could potentially kill an immortal, which is crazy. So, my question is, what happens if you use more than the recommended dose, right? Because, everything's going to have a dose. So what happens when you use more? So, hopefully we'll get an answer to that. At this point of where I am in the story, we don't have an answer to that. We just got introduced to this drug. And you want to know who leaked the drug? The same fucking bitch that stole the horn. So Danica went ahead and leaked the drug. Because this is the same drug that the medical witch, the med witch, thinks could potentially heal the horn. Because of its tech and magic abilities, because it's synthetic magic, it could in fact possibly, hypothetically, heal the horn. So she leaks the drug. Now, I originally thought that back when we met the Black Rose Pack, and I'm going to say her name as Amelia. That's not how the fuck it's pronounced. Amelie? Whatever. Her. The fucking alpha. I originally thought maybe she's not that much of a bitch. Maybe she's gonna be nice. No. I was fucking wrong. She's a horrible monster. I fucking hate her. So, we are now at Danica's birthday, and Bryce is very enclosed on herself, and she gets Danica's favorite treats and goes down to the water ridge. Okay, so she gets her favorite dessert for Danica's birthday. So Amelia's there, and she has the people of the bakery or pastry place right on one of the pastries' trash. So Hunt is there, and he didn't realize what day it was, and B is kind of looking to him for comfort, and tells him, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't even realize. So they're sitting there, and B goes to open it up, and she sees that it says trash, and she pushes it away, and she's just she's angry, but she's more sad, and she's just like, throw it away. Just fucking forget it. Just throw it away. So Hunt looks at it, and he's like, oh, fuck no. So he takes the pastry, and B is like, just let it go. Don't do anything rash. Just let it go. I love Hunt. Hunt flies the fuck off, right? Goes to the bar where the Black Rose pack is. Takes Amelia, throws her up against the fucking wall, and threatens her. And tells her basically to stay the fuck away from B. She's got no reason to fucking be around her. And if she wants to be basically like an inconsiderate fucking asshole, she could die. It's okay. He can totally make that happen. No problem whatsoever. Okay? So, Wolfpack's kind of pissed. Connor's brother, Ethan, is like, what's going on? I don't understand. So, Hunt basically shows him, tells him. And Ethan's like, oh, I totally wasn't aware. Yeah, I'm gonna step out of this. So the Omega's like, Hunt, you got this. Good luck to the Alpha. I love it. Anyway. So, after that whole incident, right? Hunt and B go over to Rune's house. And the Med Witch wants to get... Oh, wait a minute. I totally read that wrong. So Hunt and B go to Rune's Med Witch. So, because we don't really know who the hell she is yet, you know, it's still a mystery. B goes there because the Med Witch told her that she needs more of the demon's venom to help create an antidote for the Sith. Like, that's what she's working on, is an antidote for the Sith. Okay, because it's out there, it's on the black market. And they have a feeling that the demon's venom, since it can nullify powers, could possibly nullify the drug. Okay? So, B goes to have her leg reopened and to have the venom taken out of her leg. So, while she's in the process of having this done, Hunt informs her that during the procedure that he was the one to staple her leg and that he was truly sorry that he didn't go ahead and take better care of her. He's trying to calm her while all this is going on because during the extraction is bone deep and you can only numb so much of the tissue before, you know, you're gonna fucking feel it. Yeah. So, he also told her that during the investigation, he was the one that was there. He was the one to tell Victoria to, like, stop it and shut the fuck up because Bryce had lost it. Like, she was spiraled so far down into depression and grief and sorrow that there wasn't any coming back anytime soon. And then during all this, you know, they're like locking eyes and she's got all this pain. And Hunt thinks it's the best time to kiss her. Yeah, so sweet. And the sexual fucking tension has now risen from like here to like fucking here. So I'm like, alright. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready, SJM. Let's get on with it, right? Like, we don't need any PG-17. Well, we might as well say PG-13, like Throne of Glass. Like, we want full rated R, like Akatar. Anyway. So, we have sexual tension. So, after all that, they get ready to leave the medical clinic. And, in the meantime, in the midst of all this happening, fucking Danica's mom. So, I can't. I wish somebody would rip her head off. Anyway, so she went to Micah to demand retribution of the bullshit that Hunt had pulled with the other alpha. Okay? And she definitely wants to do something because she wants to hurt B in the most, I don't know, uncomfortable way possible. And if she can't kill B, well, then this is the best thing to do, right? So, So Micah has Isaiah go out and get Hunt. And he's like, yeah, so Micah wants you and Bryce to come. And Hunt's like, Bryce has nothing to do with this. And Isaiah's like, yeah, well, my job is to get you both and to take you before Micah. Okay? So they get there to the barracks, and there's Micah in all of his fucking glory. And, you know, here's Danica's mom and the stupid bitch, because she's too fucking weak to do anything. And Danica's mom wants Micah to kill Hunt. She's like, fuck it, kill him. Like, this is bullshit. And Micah's like, yeah, no, it's not that severe. However, because he did go and threaten the Alpha, and it wasn't anything that we had or I had requested, since he is my slave, we'll give him the living death as his punishment. So, the living death is when angels get their wings cut off. So you don't have wings. And they have to suffer through pain, and it takes about 2 weeks for the wings to grow back. But they do grow back. But, like, I don't know about any of y'all, but that would be kind of like a Deadpool thing. You know? Like, oh, fuck it. Just cut off my fucking arm. It'll grow back, and then you got, you know, the little baby hand. Anyway. So what do? The wings get cut off, and he's now left in, like, agony. So they have a medical team there. They get the medical team to go and wrap up his wings, give him some medicine to help with the pain, but it's really not going to help. All the while, B then informs Danica's mom that I will fucking kill you one day. And I'm like, yes! Yes! Like, I cannot wait to read that. I will jump up and down and praise fucking hallelujah. Like, cannot wait. So, we also find out during this confrontation that B had made a deal with the Underking. Remember the Underking? You know this guy? Yeah. So, way back when, she went to the Bone Gate, and she was kneeling, and the mist parted, and that's all we got to know. They left us with a dead end. So, here's what happens. So, she makes a deal with the Underking, and she traded her space of eternal life so that Dana could live on in eternal peace. So fucking sweet. Like, she's like, yeah, you know what? Danica's dead. She can have it. Like, what do I need it for? I'm miserable without her anyway. So Danica lives on. So, Danica's mom finds this out because she went to the Underking to summon her daughter to find out where the horn is and get answers to questions. And basically, the Underking goes, yeah, your daughter basically says, fuck you. She doesn't want to see you. She doesn't want to talk to you. And the funny thing is that Danica's mom thinks the worst of her daughter. Like, oh, she doesn't want to come speak to me because of how she died and she's worthless. And, you know, on top of that, she doesn't want to talk to me because she doesn't have that much soul over there or enough life force. Like, all these fucking excuses, which are so far from the fucking truth. And the truth is, Danica fucking hated your guts and has no time, even in fucking heaven, hell, eternal life, whatever, to fucking come to your beck and call. She's basically saying fuck you even in the afterlife after she said fuck you her entire life. And you still couldn't get it through your goddamn head. Hate that woman. Hate her with a passion. If it's not coming through on this video, I hope you understand. So finally, we get to a moment where Hunt is up out of his bed after having his wings cut off, and B is like, you need to be careful. Like, you really, really need to be careful. And we finally get a moment that we've been waiting for. So it was so fucking hot. Like, B basically is like, yeah, oh, you know what? I did highlight this. I highlighted all the fucking pages. It was so good. It's so good. So let me read to you guys, if you don't mind. Let me try to find this. So, so we had a couple of things with sexual fucking tension, in the midst of all this. So we have where there was a little bit of play in the kitchen, and she's basically downplaying it, saying, she hasn't had sex in several months, and maybe that's why she's finding Hunt so attractive at this point in time. But the urge to grab him and to pull his face down to hers and to taste every part of him practically blinded her. But as Hunt is cooking, he's cooking her breakfast. Isn't that so sweet? She feels that he doesn't want her because he still holds a flame for his long lost love, and her mind is basically like, yeah, okay, keep telling yourself that. So all of a sudden, the muscles in Hunt's back stiffen and his hands pause with everything that he was doing. Shit, he could smell this kind of thing, couldn't he? Most males could. The shifts of a person's scent from fear and arousal being two very big things. Hunt asked, "What are you thinking about?" "You, like a fucking idiot, is what I'm thinking about," she says mentally. But she says instead, there's a sample sale at one of the designer stores this afternoon. "Is that so?" he purrs. "Yes," she says, unable to look away. Hunt went... Oh my god, it's so good. Hunt's eyes darkened and he said nothing, her nipples pebbling under the stare. Hunt went preternaturally still. His eyes dripped downward, sought her breasts, the thighs that she now had clamped together as if to stop the throbbing that was beginning to torture her. "I didn't know clothing sales got you so hot and bothered." She nearly whimpered. It's the little things in life, Hunt. He then goes, "Is that what you think about when you open up that left nightstand? Clothing sales?" So, I think I totally forgot to tell you this, but Hunt found a box in the closet and saw something purple and glittery and thought that it was her vibrator. And it turns out she's got a thing for unicorns, and she kept a couple from her childhood, and they're like, she's got them named and everything. She's just a little kooky. And she's like, yeah, like, I didn't leave that fucking thing here in the goddamn closet. How useful is that? It's in the left drawer of my nightstand, in case you want to go snooping around anywhere else. So he's throwing that in her face, right? And she goes, "Yes," she breathed, "all those clothes all over my body." How is it possible that all the air in the apartment and the city had just been sucked out? "Maybe you should buy some new underwear," he murmured, nodding to her bare legs. "Seems like you're out." She couldn't stop it. The image that blazed over her senses, Hunt putting those big hands on her waist, hoisting her up onto the counter, currently pressing into her spine, shoving her t-shirt over her midriff, his t-shirt actually, spreading her legs wide, fucking her with his tongue, then his cock, until she was sobbing in pleasure, screaming with it. She didn't care, just so long as he was touching her and inside of her. "Bryce," he seemed to be shaking now, if only on a tether of pure, well kept him in place, as if he had seen the same burning image and was just waiting for her to nod. Goodness. It'd complicate everything. The investigation and whatever he had for Shahar and her own life, fucking hell for that. They'd figure it out later. Burning smoke filled the air. Gross, nose-stinging smoke. Fuck, Hunt hissed, whirling around where his eggs had been on the burner. As if the witch spell snapped, Bryce blinked, and a dizzying heat vanished. I have to get dressed for work, she says, and leaves. Oh, God. Oh, we did meet a creature. I forgot about the Nook. I'm guessing it's a Nook. N-O-K-K. Nuke? I don't know. It's basically like a demonized mermaid. That's what I picture. Like, if you ever seen Aquaman and the creatures from the trench, that's what I pictured of these. Like, they're very fucking ugly looking. Anyway. So, we do have a picture of Bryce and Hunt in the library, with this creature. You know, thank you, fan art, for that one. Yeah. So, anyway. So, back to where we were. So, Hunt's nickname for Bryce is Sweetheart. I thought that was endearing as well. This was after his wings got cut off and everything. And she wants to ask him about what occurred at the Medwitch clinic, because once they got home, they were then summoned. So she didn't get to ask about the implications that occurred, or interactions that occurred there. So she's like, I've got a question for you. And he's like, yeah. And she goes, Hunt, you kissed me at the Medwitch office. He knew he shouldn't have, knew it was 10 kinds of stupid, but he said, what about it? Did you mean it? She asks. Yes. He'd never said anything more true. Did you want me to mean it? He asks. His heart began to race fast enough that he nearly forgot the pain in his back as she said, you know the answer to that, Hunt. Do you want me to do it again? Fuck, his voice had dropped an octave. Her eyes were clear and bright, fearless and hopeful, and everything that had always made it possible for him to think about anything else if she was around. I want to do it, she added, if that's all right with you. Hell yes, he made himself throw her a half smile. Do your worst, Bryce. She let out a breathy little laugh and turned her face up towards his. Hunt didn't so much as inhale too deeply for fear of startling her. Shrinks, apparently taking the hint, saw himself to his crate. Thank God for a smart dog. Anyway, so Bryce's hand shook as they lifted to his hair, brushing back strands that ran over the bands of his halo. Hunt gripped her trembling fingers. What's this about? He murmured, unable to help himself from pressing his mouth to her dusky nails. How many times had he thought about that? Those hands on him, caressing his face, stroking down his chest, wrapping around his cock. Her swallows were audible. He pressed another kiss to her finger. If any of you guys want to know what page I'm on, I'm currently on page 590 if you want to join me. This wasn't supposed to happen between us, she whispered. He says I know. Both kissing her shaking fingers, but thank fucking Erd it did. Her hand stopped shaking. Hunt lifted his eyes to her hands and their fingers. For fuck's sake, just kiss me, Bryce. She did. Dark hell, she did. His words were barely finished sounding when she slid her hand over his jaw around his neck and hurled his lips to hers. Let me tell you. That's just the beginning. But basically, if you keep reading all the way through, you're going to get to page 593. Nope. Yep. 593. Where basically he says, come for me, sweetheart. Enough said on that subject. Anyway. It doesn't get any further than that with him pleasuring her, because well, she's so wrapped up in it that his back starts bleeding all over the place, and he's ignoring the pain as much as he can for her pleasure, but then it's finally like, okay, yeah, it's too fucking unbearable. So Medwitch is called, and sex is out of the question. Yes. So anyway, so it's awesome. So Medwitch comes to stop the bleeding, and during all this, B has an idea that maybe Danica had hid something in their old apartment, right? So B leaves while Hunt is passed the fuck out on the couch, and she's going to her old home. But in the meantime, somebody's torched the place. As she comes up, she sees everyone from their building standing outside, and the whole building's on fire. So there goes that idea. In the midst of watching the building burn, Theron texts her and lets her know that there's a deal about to go down on the Sith on a boat out in the river. So she goes down to the docks, and he takes her to the boat where the Viper Queen is selling the shit to people. But not just to anybody. When I tell you my heart dropped with what I'm about to tell you, it fucking dropped. Not just anyone was the Viper Queen selling the synthetic magic to, but it was to Victoria, Justin, and Hunt. And of course, B didn't recognize who Hunt was because he didn't have his fucking wings. He just had on a fucking hoodie, a black hoodie. Yeah. Hunt had been working on the Sith, and Danica found out that the Sith, what it does, and sold it to get it into the black market. In the midst of all this, Bryce did find that in the back of her leather jacket, there was a thumb drive hidden in the jacket. And on the thumb drive, it shows the clinical tests that they did on humans, fae, angels, whoever wanted to fucking volunteer, basically, to take this drug. And Danica got everything on tape, from how the drug interacted to how much a dose was and what happened if you took too much of the Sith at once. So, if you take it as prescribed, you're going to get great strength and healing beyond what a Medwitch could do to you. Okay? If you take too much, you basically go insane. To the part where you start killing anything and everyone in sight, even your best friend. You're not gonna, you'll recognize them, but you can't stop your body. You physically cannot stop your body. And then once you're done killing everybody that you have in sight, you then turn onto your own self and rip your own fucking body apart. Pretty fucking gruesome shit, right? So, Hunt and the two others have known about this for weeks. But Hunt didn't know how bad the shit was until B had showed him what was on the flash drive from the testing, where the humans were injected and then ripped the others apart before she ripped her own self apart. Danica was taking the Sith herself, but she took too much the night she died, Hunt tells her. He knew the video that Bryce had shown him took that last puzzle piece and flicked it and clicked it right into place. So Danica had been taking the Sith herself. On the night that the Devil Pack died, she took too much, killed her entire pack, and then killed herself. Yeah. And the demon that got summoned that night was because too much of the Sith was used. It's kind of like a quinkadink, or coincidence, of using the Sith too much. You summon this demon. Yes. So the demon is being accidentally summoned by the salt mixture that's inside of this synthetic magic blend. While the deal was going down and all that stuff, the Viper Queen had called Micah to tell Micah that he's got traitors in his midst and rebels. And now Hunt has even bigger issues. B finds out that he's an asshole and basically fucking tells her to, like, never talk to her again. Like, go fuck yourself. We're done. Like, this is over. So, Micah has Hunt in a cell. He's not dead. Fury comes out of nowhere because Hunt wants to go after B, and she's like, yeah, I don't think so. She's my friend, and if you fucking come near her, I will fucking kill you. So, Fury, Theron, and B jump on the boat, and they leave. Micah can deal with his own traitors. B's pissed off that she's been spending countless hours trying to figure out what the fuck went wrong, all the while Hunt's known about it for weeks. We end chapter 68 with Micah has Hunt in a cell, and he's not dead yet. Justin has been crucified and is in the middle of the lobby of the barracks, slowly bleeding to death. And Victoria, who was our wraith, had her form ripped from her body, shoved into a fucking glass jar, and is put at the feet of Justin. So his blood is dripping all over her box. As Justin dies, his body stays there. He's not given any kind of a burial. He's not going to be put on a boat. He's going to be thrown into the dark side of the river, and whatever eats him, eats him. And Victoria is thrown into the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean to go basically insane inside of a glass box in a dark place. Yes. I mean, it was fucking epic. The whole thing was epic. Like, I couldn't stop reading. And I originally wanted to just do 10 chapters, 5360, and call it. But, like, I just was like, no, I need to know what happens next. Like, I need to know what happens next. So, I have a feeling that shit's gonna hit the fan. Like it normally does with all SJM books. We're gonna start seeing the rest of our domino pyramid. Couldn't say pyramid. The rest of our domino pyramid is gonna get ready to collapse. So we have Hunt's a traitor, and I feel so bad for B because she was getting close to somebody and she was coming back to life, and she was starting to become a little bit more normal each day with Hunt being around and being close and sharing things with, and now she's basically thrusted back into darkness, not able to trust anybody, and it's really fucking sad. So I can't wait to see what the rest of this book has to offer us. But I'm going to cut the video short here because it's a long ass video now, and I'd be tired of me talking too by now. So if you haven't read Crescent City, please do yourself a favor. Fuck the reviews. It is slow in the beginning, but you do have some epic scenes that want to keep you on the edge of your seat. But like with anything that's fucking greatness, it's gonna take a little bit to get the world built, you know? Like, you gotta give it a little bit of time before we're done building the world and shaping everything for us, so that we can then just have just the storyline and no more character building or land backdrop building, you know what I mean? So again, if you haven't read Crescent City, please pick it up, read it. You won't be disappointed. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm so fucking happy. And you know, leave comments if you've read this far. If you're reading along with me, awesome. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from anybody that's watching these. and then we can talk and chit chat and whatever. Like, that would be cool. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that when we finish up this lovely first book of Crescent City, you can be there for the ending and have the full ride here for your pleasure. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.